witness out there? When I began to read this, I found myself saying yes before I read the rest of Jesus' statement. But when Jesus finished the rest of his statement, Jesus said, feed my lambs. So in other words, if you love me, you have to be somebody who is willing to build people up, to feed other people, and to encourage other folks. Do I have anybody in here like that? To feed my lamb, Jesus is saying, encourage the young Christian in Christ Jesus to keep on moving. Well, what do you mean, preacher man, keep on moving? The young Christian find themselves coming to church, got pregnant, and don't have a husband. And when you're feeding a young person, the first initiative in your mind is to tell them where they went wrong.
All right.
But if you look back over your life, you will find that you did the same thing that young lamb did. The lamb can be somebody, they may not even know church protocol. They may not know the church welcome of the word of the week. They may not know scriptures. They may come in and not know what the choir is singing. But they come to church looking for something and they may not even know what it is. I like young lamb because young lamb, they have not learned how to dress up and look at me while I preach. Young lambs come in and they got that rapper mentality. They'll say, go pastor, go. They'll shake their head, they'll wag their tongue, they'll throw their hands up in the air, wave them like they just don't care. But the other lambs, I heard that sermon last week. I want you to give me something else. So I'm so glad today that I can look out in the midst of the congregation and I can see some young lambs. It's a sign when there's young lambs that God wants us to feed all kind of people. They may not look like you. They may not know the church protocol. They may not know the church bylaw. But when they come to church, they're learning to hear about Jesus. And when I tell a young lamb that the Lord is making a way, they'll stand up in a minute and holler back at me. So glad that God has young lamb. The lamb loves the Lord just like the sheep do, but they still young, still wet behind the ears. They may not have got slain in the spirit. They may not come to 5 a.m. prayer. They may not do all of the things that all of us have been in church for a long time. But at the judgment, they still gonna get to enter into one of the 12 gates of the city. I like young lambs because young lambs, you can teach them something and they are willing to learn a little bit more. It is a problem when you get in church and you've been in church for a long time. You get a little lazy. I know what I'm talking about because I get like this myself. You get a little contemplative. You get where you go through a routine. I want him to preach. I want him to close. I'm going to shout. We're going to go home. But can I tell you something? Your blessing might be right now while everybody else is down. Oh, I didn't see nobody in here. Your blessing might be because you are the first one that jumped up and you are the first one that waved your hand. You are the first one that started clapping. You can't wait on everybody else to get their blessing. You gotta go for what you know. If you ain't going through nothing, if you ain't having no trials, and you ain't having no tribulation, and you don't need that, then you sit there and look at me. But if you know that you love the Lord, and you don't mind letting the world know, then you never get out the way. I'm going on a praise break, and I'm going to praise God for about 20 seconds. Heard him. He said, Pastor, say that every week. The reason I say this every week is when I come to church, I don't come to fool around. I know that if I start praising, there's some people in here right now that I am praying for. And I see your faces and I'm praying for you. And I get up in the morning time and your face come to me. And I'm praying for you. And I'm praying for things for you. And I'm doing it in private. private, and they're going to even tell you you're one of the one. I'm doing it in private because what I'm praying for, I'm sitting back watching God. Yeah, I'm watching God because the Lord said that you can have it, and I'm praying, Lord, show them what you want them to get on their next level. And Lord, if I can get them just to praise a little bit, I believe that their breakthrough is going to come in the power. But the lamb, I love the lamb. Can I just deal with the lamb for a little while? The lamb can be your child, and they can be closer to God than you are. What are you talking about, preacher? How can my child be closer? Your child might be praying through the week more than you pray. Just because they are a lamb and just because they don't do like you do, they might be a little bit closer to God than you are. But I'm so glad that when lambs are in my house, I don't care that you are a lamb. I have the same respect for you that I have for the sheep that are in the house. But can I tell you something? If a lamb can get a prayer through, I'll get on with the lamb. Because some of the sheep don't even want to pray. I need to hear some back from the lamb. But Jesus, I love you so much. I'm falling in love with Jesus. And that's the reason I can come in here, I can preach. I don't care who's happy, who's sad, who's up and who's down. The reason I can come in here and preach and sweat and turn around and get all happy is because I love I ain't talking to that side. See, I love Jesus. It ain't just something I'm saying. I love him. I walk with him. I talk with him. I go to bed. Yes, I go to bed with him. And the reason I wake up with him, because whenever I need something, brother, the Lord do supply my needs according to his riches. And I wish there was somebody out there that loved Jesus. So let me go to the second thing here. The question this morning is, do you love? Did you come to church because your mama then went to this church? Did you come to church because you didn't want to get no phone call? Did you come to church because your wife is going to get mad because you ain't came in 2 Sundays? Did you come to church because your mama and them told you that you ain't been in church and you need to get in church and that's the only reason you are here? But some of us who came to church today, we come to church not to seek money or blessings. We come to church because we love Jesus. Look at what the Lord says. He said, when they love me, there cannot be no lip service. It has to be a demonstration. And there's a lot of people walking around talking about they love Jesus, but they don't live like they love Jesus. Because the first storm that comes up, they want to run and hide. Do you not know that when you start loving Jesus, you shall have trials and you shall have tribulations? But don't worry about your trials and your tribulations, because the Lord is going to always give you a way of escape. Tell your neighbor, I can get out of it. I can get out of it. And the reason I can get out of it, I feel something about to move in my life. I feel like God is about to do something great in my life. I ain't waiting on Pastor Williams to spin around 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and break out in a praise right now, because I know that the Lord is coming to me. I love. I love it. I don't care if y'all know about it. I love it. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. Y'all been holding. Some of y'all don't want to get excited. Some of y'all said they want me to line out something. They want me to give you some revelation. You know what the revelation is today? For God I live and for God I die. If you want a revelation, bring out in the praise that God I give you. I'm going to deal with it on this level too. Look at what I'm saying here. Look at what I'm saying here. I'm finding out, watch this, I'm finding out that loving Jesus is not in church attendance. It's not in church auxiliaries. It's not in church programs. I want to show you something before I go any further. I have been in this church service for a long time, and when we have pastor's anniversary, nobody gets saved. When we have revivals, people don't come and they don't get saved. When we have church dedications and we have all these programs, nobody come and get saved. Do you want to know what people are getting saved? People are getting saved laying in the midst of their sins. I wish I had one of y'all that was in the club and the Lord told you, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. You don't belong here no more. I wish I had somebody who just got in a fuss with your husband or your wife, and you start getting ready to cuss